All righty. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully the camera will focus here in just a second. It is the second week of college football. Let's start off with I won last week. So Jeremy is cooking pork tenderloin
Smoking it.
for us today. Actually, our records last week, Jeremy was 13-4 and I was 15-2. So the wife wins.
You'll have that.
We're going to change things up a little bit this week. Instead of going through the schedule I just made him silence his phone, and I thought mine already was. That's my YouTube telling me I'm live, of course. Anyway, we're going to go through the top 25 in ranking order instead of in the order that they play today. That way we can get the top teams for you off the bat. But we're going to talk about last night's game first. We went ahead and made predictions before the game last night on who would win that one. It was number 24 Boise State versus Marshall.
0-for-1 already.
Yeah, I took Boise State. He took Marshall. I loved the movie, but they're still, Marshall. And so Boise State won 14-7. So
closer than what I thought it was going to be, but whatever.
Jeremy took the L on that one. So, all right, let's just go ahead and jump in first. Number 1, Clemson versus number 12, A&M. This should be one of the 2 or 3 good games this week.
They're talking it up like it's going to be really good.
It's 3:30 today. Clemson beat Georgia Tech 52-14 last week. Texas A&M beat Texas State 41-7 last week. For me, it's pretty obvious that Clemson's going to win this game.
Yeah, I almost Clemson as well.
I just don't see Clemson not going undefeated into the playoffs this year. So, because they're Clemson. I may get proven wrong later in the season, but I just don't see it happening. All right, number 2, Alabama versus New Mexico State at 4:00 today. Of course, Alabama beat Duke 42-3 last week. New Mexico State lost to Washington State last week 58-7. So I feel like this is an obvious win for Alabama as well, but we'll see what diehard anti-Alabama guy
Well,
says.
I mean, New Mexico State's got a hell. No, this is going to be Alabama.
And who took Duke last week on the took the L.
Season opener.
Yeah. It was Duke.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. And we're going to move a little faster than we did last week because we realized we spent an hour and nobody's sitting and watching an hour video. Or most people
so
don't.
If we keep
anyway,
it within 3 minutes, we'd be killing it.
We're gonna try to keep it at a half an hour or less. We'll see if that works. Anyway, we got next number 3 Georgia versus Murray State at 4:00. Georgia beat Vandy 30-6 last week. Murray State beat some high school team called Pikeville 59-20 last week.
You're gonna piss off the Pikeville fans.
Well, I'm sorry. It just sounds like a high school in Alabama, which is where we're from. It literally sounds like it would be the name of a high school in Alabama.
I hear those Pikeville fans pretty rowdy.
Yeah, I doubt we'll catch the random Pikeville fan on our lowly little YouTube channel here. I gotta go Georgia on this one.
Yeah, I'm going Georgia as well.
We may face a dilemma this week on us all on this. Well, I'm already up 1, so if we pick everybody the same this week, I'm still going to win.
I don't see it happening.
Jeremy's not going to be with us next weekend, as far as we know. He's going to be working, so it'll be just me on the video next week, just for a heads up. Anyway.
So do I need to call you in a pizza if I lose or something, or?
We'll see what happens. Okay, number 4, Oklahoma versus South Dakota. This is at 7:00 tonight. Oklahoma beat Houston 49-31 last week. South Dakota lost to Montana 31-17. Jalen Hurts, my boy, you showed out. You showed up. You looked excellent last week.
Well, I was going to say Oklahoma's got Jalen Hurts, so I got to go with Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, I actually hope he puts up better numbers this week than he did last week, which is entirely possible considering South Dakota. So, and he put up some amazing numbers last week, and I'm proud of my boy. Anyway, so on to number 5, the Ohio State University versus Cincinnati at 12 o'clock today. So a little less than an hour. Ohio State beat Florida Atlantic 45-21. Last week, Cincinnati beat UCLA 24-14.
This could end up being a decent game because Cincinnati is sort of an in-state rival or whatever. But what were the stats that we saw earlier about?
Ohio State has not been beaten by another in-state school since like 1920 something.
Oh, I thought it was like 40 something.
No, it's like 1920 something.
Oh, Jesus.
It's ridiculous.
Well, maybe today's today, but
I would love for it to be today, but I'm not willing to bet having to cook.
I'm going with the Ohio State, yeah.
Yeah, as much as I hate to. Okay, moving on. This is probably the game of the week.
Yep.
Number 6 LSU at number 9 Texas. There's a reason game day is there, and it's because it's going to be a good game. It's at 7:30 tonight. LSU beat Georgia Southern 55-3 last week. Texas beat Louisiana Tech 45-14. Texas went up in the rankings 1 spot. They jumped from number 10 to number 9 this week. So I'm going LSU. I realize they're playing at Texas, but I'm going LSU. I'm going Coach O.
All right, well, see, that makes it easier for me because I was going to go Texas anyway. But if you had chosen, I was gonna ask that you choose first on this one because I mean you could really flip a coin in my opinion on this one. But my heart was with Texas. But if you'd chosen Texas, I would have gone with LSU.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it interesting.
You have no backbone then.
No. I just wanted to make it. I just wanted to make it interesting.
Okay. He's trying to make it interesting. I'm trying to actually.
Well, this is like I said. It's a flip of the coin. You flip.
See, I just don't feel it is. I feel like Coach O and LSU are gonna.
Okay.
I think they're going to show why they're in they're going to show the strength of the SEC in this game.
Like I said, my heart was with Texas on this one for some reason. Don't know why, but it was. So good. That worked out.
He's betraying the SEC on this, and I'm disappointed.
I've always liked LSU for some reason. Don't know why. Now, I mean, I have a reason because Coach O's there. Love that dude.
Yeah.
But I feel like Texas is going to pull it out today.
All right. Number 7, Michigan versus Army at noon. First of all, hi, Frank. If we can manage to get you to watch this and stay until we talk about your team. Frank is a buddy of Jeremy's and I'm huge Michigan fan. Michigan beat Middle Tennessee last week 40-21. Army beat Rice 14-7. I don't think this is an actual game though.
No.
I don't see it being a game.
That's
so
number 7
it's a Michigan
all the way, yeah. And Frank will be happy.
There will be a point this season where I go, no, Michigan's in trouble, but it's not going to be today. All right, so this game surprisingly is getting a lot of talk about the possibility of being an upset.
Because it's Auburn and they have to give you a heart attack every week.
And it's at Auburn, and they like to mess with your heads.
I see you, Jacksonville State.
Anyway, at 7:30 tonight, number 10 Auburn versus Tulane. Auburn, of course, upset if you want to call it that. Oregon last week, 27-21.
Technically, it was an upset.
Yeah, but they were predicted
I was very
to win.
upset.
They were predicted to win despite being lower in the rankings. Yeah, so it's not really an upset.
I was very upset.
It's a ranking upset, but not a prediction upset. Yeah, in that game, Auburn barely pulled that out.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Tulane beat FIU. I don't even know who that is. FIU. I'm sure it's a Florida something university. I don't know. I'm pissing off the small schools all over the place today. They beat them 42-14. I'm going Auburn because I got to. I mean, Tulane will put up a fight and make him cuss more than I would like to hear tonight, more than the neighbors would like to hear tonight, and more than my dog would like to hear tonight.
I don't have to be at work till 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, so I can stay up late and cuss if I want.
Okay. Moving on. to 7:30 tonight. Number 11, Florida versus Tennessee Martin. Florida dropped 3 spots in the rankings this week, despite beating Miami 24-20. But it's because they beat Miami by 4 points. Tennessee Martin beat Northwest State 42-20.
So is Florida trying to be like Auburn, gonna do that thing where they give their fans a heart attack every game?
It's Florida. It's Florida. Florida is unpredictable. They always are. So it doesn't matter where they're ranked; they're unpredictable.
Somehow something crazy happens and Auburn ends up playing Florida in something. Then what? I mean,
then everybody dies.
Are you burying everybody?
It's a multiple overtime. Yeah. It's a multiple overtimes. Field goal extravaganza is right. What it is.
And then the refs finally just get tired of it. It's like, all right, boys, we're shutting it down.
They're like, we're 8 overtime. We're 8 deep in the overtimes. It's time.
We got to go home. It's now Sunday morning, 9:00. Look, we got to shut it down.
All right, I feel like it's a Florida game, but. All right, next at 1:00 today, which is an odd time for a football game, but whatever. Sorry, I got thrown off. Number 13, Utah versus Northern Illinois. Utah went up 1 spot in the rankings this week. They beat BYU. A solid game last week, 30-12. Northern Illinois beat Illinois State 24-10. I still don't see this being much of a game either. I got to go Utah on this.
Utah. You got more on the back, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. Because I was like,
my sheet is done a little differently this week.
And there's another game, and I can't remember who it is. There's another game that we're probably going to choose opposites on because I'm leaning more towards someone else, and I doubt you are. I can't remember who it is though.
We'll get there. We'll get there. As long as this.
But I didn't see it on here, and I was like, what the?
All right, 10:30 tonight. Number 14, Washington versus California. Washington dropped a spot last week after defeating Eastern Washington 47-14. Auburn threw everybody off a little bit in the little 10 to 16 rankings by jumping up the 6 spots.
Number 10.
That's a big jump for
only down from here, baby.
For winning by 6 points.
Heart attack.
But anyway, let's get back to Washington versus California. Washington beat, again, Eastern Washington 47-14. California beat UC Davis 27-13 last week. I got to go Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be glad when we get further into the season when we have some better games in the lineup. These first couple of weeks you get 1 or 2 solid games, and the rest should be easy games. Moving on, number 15, Penn State versus Buffalo at 7:30 tonight. Penn State beat Idaho 79-7. 79-7. Buffalo beat Robert Morris 38.
Like high school.
38-10.
Zora Ellis Junior High.
I mean, I gotta go Penn State.
Yep.
And I know there are gonna, if it's possible, if we ever get any kind of reach on this channel, there are gonna be people that are upset we don't dwell more on some of these schools, but
we will dwell a little more as the season moves on.
As the season moves on,
we may end up having to not do the whole top 25, having to just do like the top 10, top 15 or something.
For time's sake.
Yeah, because there'll be so much more to talk about.
But yeah, but right now we can manage this way. Okay. 7:30 tonight. Number 16, Oregon, who dropped 5 points thanks to Auburn, versus Nevada, depending on where you're from. Oregon lost to Auburn 27-21. Nevada beat Purdue 34-31. So they barely pulled that game out against Purdue. Oregon's going to walk all over Nevada.
Yeah, Oregon looked good. They did look good.
They did look good.
I mean, I'm just biased. I feel like Auburn looked pretty shitty.
Auburn did Auburn and pulled out a miracle.
Right. And
that's an Auburn trademark. I don't know how they have it trademarked.
I'm hoping it's first game jitters, and they, I don't know. I don't know what the hell. They've been talking, best defense in the nation, best defense in the nation. I didn't see the best defense in the nation.
It's like last week I was
hoping it's because Oregon was that good. Or a combination of Oregon being that good and Auburn being nervous as hell.
I don't know how to chalk up Alabama's performance last week because Alabama performed better than they usually do in an opener. And is it because they play Duke?
Well,
but we usually don't play.
The first half was kind of weird
really
for
strong
Alabama
teams
too, though.
It was,
in
but
my
it's
opinion,
still
but-
like we didn't look as bad as we usually do in our opener.
And I think when we're watching our respective teams, we see them a little bit differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's very true. Because I'm critical of Alabama. When you feel like your team is the best, you expect the best out of them. So, anyway, so
Okay, go ahead.
it's a little early to be.
No, you made me laugh.
3:30 today, number 17, Wisconsin versus Central Michigan. Wisconsin moved up 2 spots this week after beating South Florida or Southern Florida. I'm not sure. I just have an S Florida there. They beat them 49-0 though, so they had a solid performance there. Central Michigan beat Albany 38-21, but this is still a Wisconsin game.
Wisconsin. Yeah, I'm going with Wisconsin.
And with that performance last week, I expect a high-scoring game on Wisconsin's side anyway this week. All right, this game right here, 7 o'clock tonight, number 18, UCF at Florida Atlantic. Now, I finally remembered without any prompting Florida Atlantic's coach's name, and it's Lane Kiffin, because I love Lane Kiffin. He may have had issues with Saban. Is that the one that Daniel Tosh hates? Yes. And him and Saban had their issues, but Kiffin's a solid coach, and he's a stand-up guy because he still shows his support for Alabama. After, he's head coach at Florida Atlantic now, and he's doing a good job down there, except, first of all.
Well, I would say he's doing a damn good job down there.
UCF beat Florida A&M 62-0 last week and dropped a spot in the rankings. I don't get it. I don't get the disrespect. I feel like it's like people just flat out disrespecting UCF.
Absolutely.
At this point, and it's ridiculous.
Yes, and we touched on this last week.
I think this will be a solid game. Florida Atlantic showed up against Ohio last week. They lost 45-21, but for Florida Atlantic, who is an unranked team, and Ohio was ranked number 5 last week too, to put 21 points on the board against Ohio State, is showing up. And they didn't get shut out.
I feel like Florida Atlantic's going to show up today to play UCF because that's an in-state rivalry. Same division, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so. We could both be terribly wrong.
We could be, but this game seems like it's going to be huge to me. But UCF all day long, yes. And I hope UCF. I'll say it again. I'll probably say it every week. I hope UCF wins all the way out and gets a playoff consideration, and just to put them there so they could put up or shut up. Basically, give them a shot.
I'm thinking my problem tonight, and I'll get to it in a minute, is the 7 o'clock games, 7 and 7:30 games tonight. I don't like how they're overlapping in the teams that are playing because there are a lot of games going on in that time bracket that I want to keep an eye on. So we may be laptoping and phone and
I have zero hatred for UCF. Zero. I want to see them do.
And even as an Alabama fan, they claimed a title they didn't earn, but at the same time, they were not given a chance, and they're still not being given a chance, and they are being disrespected on a weekly basis with where they're ranked and the discussion surrounding them.
We'll see where we are next week, but yes, absolutely.
We both may be eating our words next week. You never know. But UCF, I hope Kiffin and Florida Atlantic put on a game here. But if UCF wins this game, they should not drop in the rankings again.
Nope.
Okay, moving on. 7:30 tonight. Number 19, Michigan State versus Western Michigan
State.
Michigan State dropped a spot this week after beating Tulsa 28-7. That's too close of a game for them to have been playing Tulsa. Western Michigan beat Monmouth. Is that how you pronounce it, or is it Monmouth?
I don't know.
They beat them solidly 48-13. But again, 2 unranked teams playing there. So Western Michigan may just be, maybe they're a solid team, and maybe, with it being in-state, it'll be a game.
Yeah, maybe. I kind of.
But I'm still
I got
going.
a soft spot in my heart for Michigan State.
I'm still going Michigan State.
Yep.
And I'll go for Heather this week.
I'll go Michigan State all year.
For Heather.
Because
our sister-in-law that we lost way too early. 11 years ago this week.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Is it 11? No. 9 years ago this week.
Was it 9?
9 years ago this week. Anywho, 12 o'clock today, number 20, Iowa versus Rutgers. Iowa beat Miami of Ohio 38-14. Rutgers beat UMass 48-21 last week.
I know nothing about either one of these teams.
I don't either, but I want to go Rutgers.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go with the ranked one. I'm gonna go with Iowa. I'm playing it safe.
I'm gonna go with an upset on this one. Just
to make
Iowa's ranked number 20. So when you get to like 20 and below, it's kind of iffy on how solid they actually are. And I need to start doing a little bit more research. I'm putting about 2 or 3 hours in at this point, trying to get everything together. But I need to start looking at the rankings beyond number 25 to see where these other teams fall.
With college game day.
Yeah, he wakes up at 10 o'clock and sits down at 11, and we go. That's fine. This is all my idea, so I'll do the work. Moving on, another 12 o'clock game. Number 21, Syracuse at Maryland. 2 points of interest on this. Syracuse moved up a spot in the rankings this week. However, they are an underdog for this game, apparently.
Interesting.
Syracuse beat Liberty 24-0, and now I have the Liberty Mutual song in my head.
I wanted to sing it, and I was like, they'll shut us down.
No, only if we actually play an actual clip of them doing it. Maryland, and this may be why, Maryland beat Howard 79-0 last week. That's a hell of a spread.
That's a stomping. Yeah, I went country stomping.
However, I like a good underdog story. I don't know. Where are you going on this?
I'm gonna go Maryland.
You're going Maryland, and I was planning to go Syracuse, but I wanted to see if you were going to do the same because I had already said the underdog. I like an underdog. This may be the game that kills me this week. But okay.
I like to see an unranked team beat a ranked team as long as it's not my team.
5 o'clock tonight, we've got number 22 Washington State versus Northern Colorado. Washington State moved up one spot in the rankings this week. They played New Mexico State last week and won 58-7. Northern Colorado lost to San Jose State 35-18 last week. So I feel like this is an obvious W for Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State. Kind of a no-brainer there.
Yeah, considering they're already playing. They're playing someone who lost to San Jose State last week. I just don't see it going any other way. All right, 10:30 tonight, the late game tonight. We've got number 23 Stanford at USC.
Now that's Southern California or South Carolina?
I believe it's South Carolina.
All right. Well, I would make a suggestion.
I mean, the only thing,
if it's South Carolina, put Scar.
I just wrote down what the schedule said.
Then that's going to be.
It said USC.
It would say Scar if it was South Carolina. So that's going to be Southern California.
I think we need to clarify before we
go to the phone.
Yeah, we're going to go to the phone. There's nobody there. Hello, caller. Caller, are you there? Are you there? You're not? Okay.
Is that Donahue that used to do that? Or is that Larry King? Are you there? It's either Larry King or Donahue.
I think it was Larry King.
Okay.
Donahue may have done it too, but I think it was Larry. I think Larry King is who you're thinking of.
Tangent.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what this says when I put this in. That's gonna be South Carolina, isn't it?
That's Southern California. That's USC. Yeah, that's USC all day long. That's USC. That's Southern California. Yeah.
Okay.
If it was South Carolina, it'd say SCAR because that's how they distinguish them. Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that. Thank you.
Yep.
I've learned something today, moment. All right. So University of Southern California. I'm going Stanford.
I'm going USC.
Also, Stanford is an underdog in this game as well.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I was going USC anyway because USC. They used to be there all the time. Maybe they can make a comeback.
Stanford beat Northwestern 17-7 and went up 2 spots last week and is the underdog
And
today.
That touching story about the girl with leukemia and stuff, that dude plays for USC. So
okay.
Going USC.
Okay. So USC beat Fresno State last week 31-23. Both of those were relatively close games. At this point in college football, I feel like if you don't win by not 30 points, but like by 3 touchdowns, that it's a close game. And it's really not. But 3 touchdowns feels like you're not comfortable until you're 3 touchdowns ahead. I watch a lot of Alabama football, and it's ruined it for me. It's okay. So you went at USC.
Yep.
And I said Stanford.
Yep.
Okay. All right. The last game that we have is number 25 Nebraska at Colorado at 3:30 today. Nebraska dropped a spot. They're actually tied for number 25, by the way. We actually have 26 teams in the top 25. Nebraska at Colorado. Okay. Nebraska beat South Alabama 35-21. That was a good game last week. It should not have been that close of a game for Nebraska. Colorado State,
which is probably why they dropped one.
Colorado beat Colorado State 52-31. I actually thought Nebraska was going to drop out completely.
And this is somewhat of a rivalry game too, like they were talking about on TV a while ago. Like this is one of those almost all bets are off type of games, especially since Nebraska is so low in the rankings and Colorado comes to play when they play Nebraska every year. So yeah, I'm going with Colorado on this one.
And see, I am too because for 2 reasons. Because of Nebraska's not stellar performance against Alabama or South Alabama last week, and also because Colorado solidly beat Colorado State last week by 21 points. So they got that 3 touchdown spread that I was talking about. So we're both going to go Colorado on that. Okay. I think the only couple of other things we need to talk about real quick. Notre Dame, who is ranked number 8, and the other number 25, Iowa State, both have bye weeks this week.
Weird.
I would not want my bye week this early, and that's all I got to say about that. I'm going to go Forrest Gump on it because we're from Alabama. That's what we do.
Yeah. We are Forrest.
And this is the point that I was making, that I was touching on a little while ago about these 7 o'clock and 7:30 games. And I know we went out of order today because we were doing ranking order. But 7 o'clock tonight, we have number 4 Oklahoma playing. We have
Auburn.
Not at 7. We have UCF at 7.
Time's Auburn play?
7:30. I think. Oh wait, I don't know. Yes, and then at 7:30 we have that LSU Texas game, which is huge. 7:30 we have the Auburn Tulane game. 7:30 we have Florida Tennessee Martin. 7:30 we have Penn State Buffalo. 7:30 we have Oregon and Nevada.
Jesus.
7:30 we have Michigan State and Western Michigan. There are 8 games starting at either 7 or 7:30 tonight. And I would like to see some of all of those. I don't know how I'm going to manage it. Yeah. May have to actually go dig out the tablet to have four or 5 different screens.
Because we know what's going to be playing on here.
On the big screen, it's going to be. See, that's hard though because LSU and Texas is playing at the same time as Auburn.
We can flip back and forth. I mean,
and that's such a pain.
Put it in the recent channels and flip back and forth.
We have Hulu Live for our cable, for our streaming service. So it's not easy. Hulu, hey Hulu, listen up. Make it so you can have a go back. So you can just pop back and forth between 2 channels without having to flip back.
I feel like it's a little better than your previous channel button because you have a touch of a stick. You have a recent channels list that has like 6 or 7 recent channels, and as long as you go to the channels that they're playing on, you click it 3 times, bam, you're there.
Also, we use it off of our Xbox One.
Yeah.
Just to clarify why he's saying touch of the stick. Okay, so we are right at the 30-minute mark. I'm proud of us. Is there anything else we need to touch on before we go today?
No. If we sign off in 2 seconds, we got a perfect game. Nope, didn't happen.
What? Oh, I'm just catching the live button up top. I was just looking at the clock down in the corner.
I was looking at the ticker.
Anyway, so close enough. We've cut the show in half. So yeah, give us your feedback. Tell us what you think, if we're majorly wrong, if we've offended your team, whatever it may be. Let us know in the comments if if there's something else you'd like to see us discussing. Anything really. We're open to topics outside of football as well.
Give us a like.
We like to banter.
Give us a like and a subscribe. Suggest stuff.
Yes, please subscribe to our channel. It's very important.
And if you decide we're annoying as hell, whatever. What have you lost?
Don't watch us anymore if that's the case. But there are things on this channel other than college football. Right now, there's a whole lot of book reviews.
Oh, now it goes clear.
You can read our sign now all of a sudden. Yeah, subscribe to our channel. It'll help us to make it a better channel. It'll get us better video equipment, better lighting, so you can see us better. Maybe get me some stencils so you're not having to look at my chicken scratch and sorry attempts at at art on the on the makeshift chalkboard there. But yeah, subscribe, share these videos. And we would greatly appreciate it. Commenting is big as well. So thank y'all for being with us. And again, he probably most likely will not be with us next weekend. So you get just me. So it'll probably be even faster. I'll get his predictions before he heads out of town for next week's games. But yeah, that's all I got today. Is that all you got today?
That's all I got.
All right. All right. Thank you guys. Roll Tide.
War Damn Eagle.